Hello everyone, it's good to see you again. I'm happy to finally get this video out, and I'm even more happy to announce that I've officially joined a guild. The name is a little too long to remember, it's kind of a mouthful, but all I need to know is that I'll be working to protect the city from small fires and call people in to handle that. Sounds pretty simple, and I'll be getting 5 gold pieces a day just for doing that. I'm excited to start working. I've already met a couple of nice folks there, and get this, I can live there for however long I work there, so I guess this might actually be the last time you guys see me in this place. Oh well, nothing can last forever. In the meantime, while I get all my stuff packed, again, here's another video for you guys. Enjoy! In today's video, I'm gonna do a fun little random character prompt challenge. I chose the character appearance generator on RanGen, and before I move forward, I'd like to give a little shout out to this website because its descriptions are perfect for practice, since it offers simple to complex descriptions, types of styles to practice, and genders you can choose from. Although from my experience, the descriptions tend to be pretty androgynous on both sides. I've left a link for it in the description if you want to try it out. I chose 3 descriptions, and all of them were really unique and fun, and I think at the end you'll probably be able to tell which one I had the most fun with, I'm not gonna lie. But all of them were a blast to bring to life. So without further ado, let's get into it. This was the first one I did, and it's my favorite for aesthetic reasons. The description is, standing 6'4" tall, this olive-skinned woman has an unremarkable feel about her. Her medium-length, curly, dark brown hair is twisted into dreadlocks. She has beady, deep-set black eyes, a lean face, a cleft chin, and large ears. She wears a natural-colored blush and an unnatural-looking foundation for an immaculate look. She has muscular arms, short legs, a lean torso with chiseled abs and a defined waist, and broad shoulders. She has multiple tattoos on her wrist and face, and often wears fashionable clothes that are mostly colorful and poorly fitting. She's usually seen wearing a specific pair of leather gloves and also wears goggles. First things first, I have the weight of the world on my shoulders to make this person hot, because I'll be damned if I make a muscular woman unattractive. It's just not right. I created the most unassuming posture I could think of, legs and arms all together, and looking off towards something else. That just screams unassuming, right? Like, you're not expecting anything. Anyway, the dreadlocks were probably the most fun part about this because I love drawing hair with personality, and if I'm gonna do anything right, it's gonna be the hair, and you'll see that soon during the coloring stage. I can't say the same for the lips though. They're hard, okay? I have to do multiple takes because they're hard sometimes. But they came out pretty good, all things considered. When I create a character, I want so badly for them to have a story that it's tough to draw sometimes, but it's refreshing to have character prompts to just be able to create a character by itself. Except sometimes I forget, just like now I forgot that she has wrist and face tattoos. And after a little panicking, I figured out how to get those face tattoos on there and not make her look like a total creep. So I chose to give her a tamako that's worn traditionally by Maori and other Polynesian women. It seems to fit the overall description anyway, since Polynesian women are known to be buff, so hopefully I'll do it justice. I also added some tattoos down on her wrist and kind of keep it in the same style. The rest of the line art was pretty simple. I added some beads in her hair and crystals to add to the fashionable description from earlier. And then I add the gloves that I forgot. We're just gonna pretend that they were there the whole time. Next, I add basic color, which is always fun, and I was trying really hard not to lose my mind here because filling in the dreadlocks was a nightmare. So many right angles. But somehow I got through without losing my sanity. Filling in color is always the most boring part. I think I was listening to Markiplier play Dream Daddies at the time, and I ran through the entire series before I finished. I'm not sure what that says about my mental state, but all I know is that at that moment I was seeing stars. The rendering is what makes everything worthwhile. The sketching, line art, coloring, none of that matters because the rendering is what makes or breaks the art. For me at least. I had to fix the eyes a little bit, but it's so easy to fix because I do everything on one layer, like a lunatic. But hey, it's convenient, it works, and I'll die on this hill. Also, this is my favorite part. The part where we finally get to see her muscles come out. Just beautiful. Then all I have left is the final touches with the arm tattoo. And bam, we've got our first character drawing done. Let me know what you think her name would be. All in all, I like this drawing because she's probably the most aesthetically pleasing, but being my first drawing, she's a little rough around the edges, technically. As I go through the next two, you'll see how my skill increases each time as I get used to it. Speaking of, that brings us to the next character. But before I go any further, I just want to thank all of you for being here and supporting me. If you're subscribed, thank you so much. I'm happy to have you here. The 27 of you are loved. I've never had 27 subscribers on YouTube, ever. And if you're not subscribed and still watching, thank you for being here. Your engagement helps either way. I do think you should still subscribe though, just as a suggestion. But that's just me. You make your own decisions. Anyway, back to the actual video. Next up is the second character design, which is quite fitting because she is my second favorite out of all of these. This is her description. Tall and tank-like, this pine-skinned woman has a weak-willed feel about her, and she has a noticeable mark on her neck which she never talks about. She's bald with jet black hair, has a stubble-covered jaw, tired, narrow brown eyes, smooth eyebrows, and a hooked nose. She has a slender neck, a wide torso with modest breasts and a defined waist, round hips, and slender hands. She has tattoos fully covering her left upper arm and stomach. I loved this character once I finished drawing her, but let me just say that the process was a monster. I honestly think doing these challenges are great for artists because it can push your boundaries, and I realized that I don't draw larger people as much as I think I do. I think I did a great job though because I love how she came out. And once again, we have a muscular woman on our hands, so you know she's gonna be attractive. Next week, I'm gonna have a video out about how I draw bodies and the techniques that I use, because my technique really helped me get her body right here. If you're gonna be an artist, you have to know how to draw all bodies. And I see way too many people only drawing quote-unquote fat people just as a funny gag, when there are really great opportunities to incorporate diverse bodies into your art and reach a larger audience by making everyone feel welcome. So if you want to learn how to do that, be on the lookout. On the coloring, I had a tough time trying to figure out what pine-skinned was, because I'm thinking like pine cone color, right? I guess not, because when I looked up pine skin, it was this color? I don't know a lot about makeup, so I just use that color. I don't know. And I know the description said she was clean shaven, but I don't want my character looking like One Punch Man, so I added a little peach fuzz. I personally love her eyes and mouth. Initially, I was gonna have her smiling, but what's a character without a sad backstory, you know? And her muscles. Ugh, I just love this character so much. I always love it when I draw unconventional bodies well. Feels like I'm doing them justice. With the mark on her neck, if I'm being honest, when I gave it to her, and you'll see it in a second, I really wanted to hint at some kind of like past Ursula history with the tentacles, but I had no idea how I was gonna do that in one photo. And you guys don't want to hear more rambling about my insane thought process, so let's just move on to the tattoos that I kind of copied from my first character. Spoiler alert, all my characters have matching tattoos, even the last one, so you're gonna have to deal with that. I don't know any other tattoos, okay? That's my problem. Anyway, it looks like we're just about done with the second character, which, while she's not my favorite, she surely holds a place in my heart. I'll once again throw it to you guys to name her, because if I name her, it'll be something crazy like Flavandrel or something not human. You know, just look at her. She's beautiful. You don't need a human name there. So now we have 2 finished character designs and they both look great. But who is our 3rd character and what do they look like? Well, let's take a look. You're gonna have to bear with me because this last one is probably the most detailed character design I have to date. And I'll be honest, the only reason it's my favorite is because it's D&D related. So, sorry about that. But without further ado, let's get into character 3. Her description reads like this. Standing 5 feet 1 inch tall, this tan-skinned woman has a charming feel about her. Her fine black hair is closely shaved, but she has an impressive beard. She has small brown eyes, a narrow face, angled lips and a rounded jaw, broad shoulders, small feet, short arms, straight hips, and a thick neck. She has both lips pierced and has multiple tattoos on her right arm, face, and right hand. After drawing tall, muscular women for the last few days, changing up my style was a bit weird, but this one is my favorite, so I guess I needed it. The stance is perfect for her charming personality, but if I'm being honest, as soon as I sketched the beard on, I knew what I was getting into. I just finished watching Escape from the Bloodkeep by Dimension 20, and I couldn't help but remember everyone's favorite halfling, Galfast Hamhead.
Ain't no shame in being beaten in a fair fight, sir.
And although this is clearly a dwarf and not a halfling, I still remember her fondly. And yes, this character is modeled after her, somehow. Anyway, in my next video, you'll also see a snippet of her as I explain my line art process and how to draw bodies. Just like with character 2, I love it when I get a non-conventional body type to draw, because I just know I can do it justice. Here you can really see how short she is by her proportions. In the spirit of Galfast Hamhead, I drew her in a light working uniform. For those of you that happen to have both watched Escape from the Bloodkeep and Lord of the Rings, I know I'm talking to a real small group here. A fun tidbit about Galfast is that her character is a direct analog to Samwise Gamgee, a strong, loyal hobbit in the Lord of the Rings, who was a hard-working, down-to-earth character beloved by the fandom. Unfortunately, Galfast was on the enemy side of the characters in Escape from the Bloodkeep since they were technically the bad guys, but she still got a place in the fandom somewhere. I kept her hair short and gave her a little knot in her beard because I think that's what she would have done practically speaking. Non-flashy armor, really simple, leather, chainmail, and a cast iron pan. The outfit and features are easily the most complicated out of all the 3 characters, and not to crap talk my first character, but I think her outfit was my least favorite. I mean, I know I made it and all, but come on, I could have done better. I did these drawings over the course of 3 days in preparation and then just didn't finish editing the video for reasons. So I could have gone back at some point, but hey, you live and you learn, you know? And that brings us to the chainmail. When I tell you I nearly hypnotized myself drawing the chainmail, I'm serious. If you were ever wondering how to make believable chainmail for semi-realistic characters, I'm here to tell you, it's just a bunch of lines and dots. It's just lines and dots. And you do it so much that you don't know who you are anymore after it. And that's how you make your chainmail believable. You're welcome. The loss of my sanity aside, I do a lot of tutorials, so don't be afraid to give me a little request in the comments of what you'd like me to explain. I'll make a video on it and hopefully it'll help. Shading was super easy, as always. I just followed the shape and made an imaginary light source that was above my character. In my experience, which isn't long, mind you, I like using a multiply layer for shading since it takes less effort, but better artists shade their art on the same layer as their color and it comes out beautiful, so take my advice with a grain of salt. The quads. I've outdone myself. This is my peak. Look at her legs. I really meant it when I said that this character was my favorite out of the three, but it's not only because she's D&D related, but it's because I actually was able to place her in a world and give her life in my head, and the rendering is just beautiful at the end because I have that ability to make her real. And of course I can't forget the face tattoos. Unfortunately, they don't get to shine here as much because of the clothing choice and beard, but I think her charming personality and work-ready outfit more than make up for that. Like I said in the beginning, you can really tell which one I put the most effort into, but I think that's fair considering the first character design was really a warm-up. Then the second one, I got the technicality aspects down, and it all accumulated into this masterpiece. Just like the others, let me know what you guys think their name should be, and which one is your favorite and why. I'd love to do more challenges like this, so if you have any suggestions for that, just let me know. And if you're actually still here, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here and devoting your time to my rambling. And if instead of just tolerating it, you happen to actually like my rambling, consider subscribing to my channel so you can see my descent into art madness and get updates on how my life is going here in Waterdeep. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to me here. With that being said, I hope you liked the video, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!